What if I told you that a simple card game could teach you more about the financial markets than 100 different books on trading? Well, this game is designed to do just that. It exposes the single biggest reason most traders fail, and trust me, it's probably not what you think. Okay, so let's look at this setup. In this game, your chance of losing any given hand is 64%. That means you only win about a third of the time. The odds are pretty clearly stacked against you on any single draw. So that brings up a pretty big question, right? If you're statistically way more likely to lose than win, how could this game ever be profitable? It seems impossible. But that's the exact secret we're about to unlock. That's right. This game, which on the surface seems totally rigged for you to lose, is actually rigged for you to win. But, and this is a big but, only if you play it the right way. So let's dive into the rules. Here's how it works. Getting a face card means you take a small, one-time loss on your bet. The Joker? Well, that's a rare but pretty painful 5 times loss. But the number cards? That's where the magic happens. They give you these big wins, ranging from double your bet all the way up to 9 times your bet. See the pattern here? Your losses are frequent but small, while your wins, though they're rare, are significantly larger. And that, right there, is the mathematical secret. It's a concept called positive expected value. So even though you lose more often, the sheer size of your wins more than makes up for all those small losses. Over time, the math is actually on your side. And this is exactly how professional trading systems are designed. But here's the catch. Just knowing the math isn't enough. In fact, you can play this profitable game and still go completely bankrupt. It all comes down to how you play, not just the cards that you're dealt. Let me show you what I mean. So let's imagine 2 players. We'll call them player A and player B. They're going to play with the exact same deck, drawing the exact same sequence of cards. The only difference is their strategy. Player A is conservative, risking just 5% of their capital on each hand. Player B, on the other hand, is aggressive, betting a whopping 25% each and every time. Now, to make it a fair fight, they both start with the same €1,000. It's a completely level playing field. And remember, they're playing a game that we know has a positive expected value, so they should both come out ahead, right? Well, let's see. Okay, round 1. The first card is a queen. That's a simple one-time loss. This is the most common kind of outcome in this game, so no real surprises here, but just look at what this one simple loss does to their capital. After just 1 round, the difference is already huge. Player A, risking only 5%, lost €50 and is sitting at $950. But player B, risking 25%, lost €250 and is already down to $750. That is a significant hit from a single, totally predictable loss. Now, as the game goes on, a few more losing cards come up. And this isn't some crazy string of bad luck, it's just statistically normal. You gotta remember, you're expected to lose 64% of the time. This is a key part of the experience. And then, it happens. The Joker. The rare but devastating card that wipes out 5 times your bet. Now for player A, this is a manageable setback. But for player B, who is still betting 25% of their remaining capital, well, it's a catastrophe. Player B is nearly wiped out, down to just €125. Think about that. They played a mathematically profitable game, drew the exact same cards as player A, and yet they are on the absolute brink of bankruptcy. How is that possible? It didn't matter that the system was good. It didn't even matter that the long-term odds were in player B's favor. Their aggressive betting made sure they wouldn't survive long enough for that long run to ever show up. The fates of these 2 players, it really reveals the most important and maybe the most overlooked secret in all of trading. And you know what? It has absolutely nothing to do with picking winners. It all comes down to this one concept: position sizing. It is, without a doubt, the single most important decision a trader makes. Player A will almost certainly end up profitable, while player B is going to go broke. Their fate was sealed not by the cards they drew, but by how much they chose to risk on each hand. And here's why this lesson is even more critical in the real world. You see, in our card game, we knew the exact probabilities. The market, it's infinitely more complex. The odds are hidden and they're constantly shifting. So if bad position sizing can destroy you in a predictable game like this, just imagine what it can do in the wild uncertainty of the real market. So how do we take this incredibly powerful lesson from the card table and apply it so we can survive and even thrive in the markets? Well, it really boils down to 4 simple rules for survival. First, your number one job is to protect your capital, survive. Second, you have to bet small so you can endure those inevitable losing streaks, just like player A did. That allows you to. Third, stay in the game long enough to catch those rare game-changing wins. And finally, and this might be the most important one, you have to master your own psychology. Because your real enemy isn't the market. It's you. It's that panic that makes you want to abandon your system after a few losses. It's that desperate, gut-wrenching urge to make it all back in one huge, reckless trade. And it's the overconfidence you feel after a big win that makes you think you're suddenly invincible. Player B fell victim to all of these. This simple card game really teaches a profound lesson in humility, in discipline, and in understanding probability. It proves that having the best strategy in the world is completely useless if you don't have the discipline to manage your risk correctly. And that, right there, is what separates the professional from the gambler. So the final question you should really be asking yourself is this. Is your strategy built to win a single hand, to chase one big score, or is it built to survive and ultimately win the entire game? The answer to that question will determine absolutely everything.